Hi, my name is Jack Gilbert. I'm a missionary with Send International. My family and I are missionaries preparing to go to Spain to plant churches that reproduce and to make disciples that make disciples. This video series is built out of a number of interviews that I conducted with missionaries in the field. As you watch, you're going to learn of the deep spiritual need in Spain. Spain needs the gospel. You're going to find out exactly what the spiritual condition of the country is and how you can partner with us to make disciples that make disciples.
Tell me a little bit about support. People ask us a lot about this. Well, why are you asking people to support you? Can't you just go? And we talk about the idea of partnership, that when some people support us or they support you, they're really actually a part of that ministry. That's how Paul viewed it, and he said that people that supported him, they were offering gifts to God, and it was for their benefit. How important has that been to your ministry?
I feel like it's the backbone. It's easy to forget it sometimes when you get in the trenches and you start feeling sorry for yourself or lonely. And then the Holy Spirit nudges you to remember you have an entire army that's ready to battle this thing out in prayer. Why don't you call on them by sending a newsletter? You're reminded we are not alone. We have an army of people in the same battle. They're doing their part. Something I would claim and call out for your future prayer supporters and givers, I would beg them to understand there's different phases in missions. There's this pre-field phase that's long and torturous and unending in one way. So it's there, and you can't go until it's all in place, because you don't want to end up getting to a field, having a burden, and having to be sent back again somehow.
Right.
So you're not only waiting for the finances to come in, but your visas too. You need the prayer support just about the stupid paperwork. Then you get to the field, and there's this very deep need to have people understand that language learning is your job. You might not get a real woohoo, 100 people came to the Lord newsletter in the first 2 years of ministry. Supporters are faithful to us when they understand you have to have the language in order to have heart conversations, in order to really tell all the beautiful things Christ has done for us. That requires not just basic language, some deep language. So your job is language. And then you move into ministry, and there's seasons of tremendous discouragement and loneliness, battle wounds. So we think about it as battle, and think about the army that's behind those people that say, you know what, we're going to come on a vision trip and get to know what you're going through. And so when churches have sent groups to even just see what we're doing and walk on our streets and breathe the air that we breathe, that's a completely unique way to support too and catch vision.
Well, and I mean, it's a fair enough question. Why can't you just go and work there? You can go and get a job and then be a witness. That's called tent making, and people do it all over the world. Of course, that does not allow you then to do full-time ministry. So that's the same as in the States. Why would somebody be a pastor? Why wouldn't he just work as a store clerk and then be a witness? Well, he wants to devote his time full-time. Now, why can't the church in Spain just pay you to be a full-time pastor? Because that's why you're going there, because there isn't enough believers there to pay for that.
Their tithes are this little.
But whatever the calling is, just as in the States, there's some people that are a witness with their secular job and other people who are in full-time ministry. The same thing happens on the mission scene. Tent makers and full-time missionaries. And both require prayer support, but then the long-term and the full-time missionaries, they need monthly support. And that would be one of the things I guess I would urge for supporters to know, because I think in America in support raising, there's this picture of like fundraising. So it's like, yeah, here's $100. Hope that helps you, and that $100 does help. But really, what would almost be better would be, instead of giving me that $100, like, how about you commit to partnering with me monthly, even if it's $1 a month. Be a part of this monthly instead of just a one-time gift and then forgetting about it. That's really what we're looking for, are monthly partners that are willing to kind of come into this with us. And I think that mindset is a paradigm shift for a lot of people.
Right. We've encountered that a lot in terms of people who want to give one-time gifts, and we always welcome that. We say thank you, but we say, but if you feel like you can afford that, what if you took that amount and just spread it out over time, even if you had to bring it down to make it go for a year? And what if instead of just writing me a check, that you agreed to pray for not only our ministry, but for the hearts of the Spanish people to see the beauty of Christ and the life
Right.
can be found in Him. Yeah.
Okay. That's really what you're seeking, and I mean, and just to encourage you guys, and as you raise support for us, the key was always to just ask the Lord to lead us to people that had that heart. And it was the people that the Lord brought to us, that they were the ones that were saying, yeah, I really feel like God is leading me to this, and they're really there to partner with us in it. And so that's where we just pray and say, Lord, lead us to the people that it's the same as evangelism, lead us to people whose hearts you are preparing.
Well, and that's been something that I've been so inspired by with our supporters that we have right now, is we have people that have been supporting us since the very beginning. And we have people that have started supporting us during this whole pandemic thing. And
We started during that time.
yeah, and just no matter what, I've always felt like everyone that has agreed to support us and started, they're not doing it because they feel pressure. They're not doing it because they feel some sort of guilt trip. It's always because they really do believe in what we're doing. And so they're in this for the long haul. And that's been super encouraging to just feel the love of our supporters as they're coming alongside us as partners, and not just like, here's your check.
Right.
So.
Well, and to put it in the strictest of sense, you are enabling them to be obedient, because how can they be obedient to Jesus' call in Acts unless they send someone? He's called them to reach the uttermost parts of the earth. If they don't go and they don't send, then they're living in disobedience. So they very likely haven't been called to go. And I can accept that, and that's their right to stay. But then to live in obedience to the Lord, they need people like you to be able to then, okay, I have to send. Who can I send? And so it's a question of, who can I send, Lord? Oh, well, I will send them.
For us, the joy of this thing has been that partnership. That we do a lot of counseling with folks here. We do a lot of evangelism, so in my head, I remember meeting you guys, and I think it might have been Debbie that said, so when do you think we're going to come? And I said, we'll be here next year. And she's like, okay. and because I'm like, because when you hear about missionaries, you hear that they're going to go and then they're gone. But you forget, because you're not watching, that there's a long time. And the people that support us have allowed us to not only work toward that, but we give our full time to ministry. We're doing this partnership development thing, but we're also ministering. We're going from church to church. We're helping to make disciples, to help people to become mature. We've helped lead people to the Lord over the last 3 years that, honestly, if people hadn't been supporting us, we wouldn't have even crossed paths. It's because they said, hey, you pay attention to what you're doing and do it full time, because we believe that God's going to do something in this area, and perhaps He'll use you.
Yeah, it's been such a blessing to be able to, when I know someone has a need, to say, I can meet that need. I have the time.
Right.
So let me come over, or let me provide for you in that way. So
you can just show up. It's sort of a ministry of presence.
Yes.
My wife and I would love to talk to you about how you can partner with us in making disciples in Spain. You can contact us at jsgilbert@sin.org. Also, you can learn more by visiting our website, bit.ly/Gilberts in Spain.